I would rather face a T-Rex.
I think
I can outrun it more than I can outrun a
they
raptor.
run at like 40 miles.
Raptors are so quick though.
I know, but like, hang on. Bing.
And we're rolling. So we went. Where did we go last night? Went to Oak Street, didn't we?
We did. We went down old Oak Street.
And it ended.
Yeah,
Certainly
thankfully.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a weird, because we both came out of it, and we're like, we had so many complaints.
Yeah, a lot.
So many complaints, but at the same time, we were both like, yeah, it wasn't terrible.
No.
But there were
massively disappointing.
Yeah, but there were moments in it that I think just kind of left us both baffled as to how they were still in the film.
Yeah.
Right, where to start? I guess we start. I guess we start with positive elements because I feel like we're gonna talk more about things that were disappointing to us.
And we shouldn't paint a picture like it's a really bad film. It's not a really bad film.
No.
It's just we went in there. You see the trailer. You see the two leads in the cast of Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, and you're thinking, okay, great cast. Thinking, oh, the dinosaurs, super interesting. So before we go into negative, I agree. Let's go positive. Have to say, I think, even though positive, negative, I think Anne Hathaway was really good.
That was my first thing I was going to say too. I think Anne Hathaway was definitely carried the film.
Yeah.
I think she. I mean, obviously her and Ewan McGregor, that's great casting anyway. But I don't think Ewan McGregor had that much to do.
He didn't get as much.
I think Anne Hathaway was definitely the center of the film, and she
was good.
She was good,
yeah.
and she played different sides very well. I mean, the most interesting part of the film to me was the problems between the married couple.
Yeah.
I think it was almost as if you wanted that throughout the whole film. You wanted more of it. You wanted more moments. Yeah.
Because my favourite scene, arguably of the whole film, was when the final confrontation between them two, where he's like, "Well, I read your book, and I know, so I know you wanted to leave us." And I was like, "It's so interesting. It was so believable because again, her performance was great. His was great in that scene. That was my favourite scene. Again, don't move on to the negatives, but I just think I wish there was more of that.
I do. I was thinking, those argument scenes. I'm thinking, right, keep going. I want to see proper argument scenes. I want to see, them two kind of going at each other, and that something's coming is because they build. Because he's just walking away from everything, and she was like, "Why do you keep walking away?"
And even the bits where it felt like their relationship was being a bit repaired, and it was like, again, them as a couple were moving, like things were changing, right? When they see the two dinosaurs having sex, and they're like having a laugh, and like it feels, and it's like, oh, it's just dangerous. It's like, oh, but like they're having a moment together, or like when they're in the car and like the herd of dinosaurs are like trampling over the car, and they're there, and it's like nothing's even said in that moment, but it's believable. It's like, in these moments where the person you love and you're married to is in jeopardy, even though your marriage is kind of in tatters, you're going to put yourself.
Well, that kind of seems like the whole thing for me is it's like, well, what saves their marriage is putting things into perspective, thinking, okay, well, our problems aren't that big of a deal. When we've got dinosaurs in our street, our problems are not that big of a deal. And I think, obviously, for me, it's just, and also again, staying on positives, there were some funny moments in the film.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, there were funny moments that you kind of laughed at that were almost a bit ridiculous, but I'm talking about more like the moment where they see the dinosaurs and he poses for the picture in front of it with this thing behind his head. Like, that was funny. Like, there were funny moments in the film. I think, kind of, there's always an interesting, at the beginning with the next door neighbor, like that was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was funny.
Where he was adamant that their kids had put the
and like moments like that were funny, and the mystery itself when it happens, you're like, okay, we're going,
draws you in. I think it draws you in well.
Draws you in well. I just think overall there are too many. I just think the approach to the film was, for me, kind of wrong. I don't think, and I get there's source material. It comes from a book, so it's I kind of maybe they. I don't know whether they stuck rigidly to that. I don't know. I don't know the source material, but I just think that the premise of the film, you're on the street, and then your whole street moves, and then you have to figure out how to get away from that, what's going on. That's interesting. That's intriguing. I don't feel there were. enough moments of tension in the film.
No.
Enough. That is a terrifying prospect, and especially considering the director previously directed It Follows, which was a horror film, but a horror film that was very reserved and minimal and very slow. Like there were shots in that film where you're kind of going from it's like they would like it would be like on a tripod and they would just be slowly going around a whole room and it would do like a
Yeah.
three and like things like that and
Which
it
you
was
could imagine
tense
in this context
for sure. Yeah.
would be real, and I really do agree as well, because I think when we came out of it, one of the things we obviously discussed straight away was the tension and then the lack thereof. Like I felt like it would kept on playing it, like, oh, okay, when we're gonna see it, and we came out, we said we actually think it would have been more effective
Yeah.
if we got longer with the family, because that's a negative I will get onto for me. But we would have spent longer with the family to make us care more about them and their dynamics and all that stuff. Because the only two you do care about are the parents, but fine. But then we see the dinosaur the first time, like you see little hints of it, but the first time when obviously he's near the bin, and I just think from that point onwards, it just was, there was never moments of actual tension from the audience's perspective. If anything, the idea of, I don't even think it was attempting to build tension. It was almost like you're making these characters in this world just the stupidest version of themselves, where again you say about those shots where if you follow around and you build up, and we the audience are like, there's got to be something there. We don't know yet, we got to know. When you're seeing shots of a T-Rex sneaking up on 4 people who have been in this terrible scenario now for multiple days.
Huge, loud dinosaur with thunderous footsteps.
Yeah, and that's not. And we've seen shots where in the garden, 1 minute, you know, they like, what is that? And when they peek out the window, you just see the dinosaur going off, and you're hearing dum dum. Yeah, we're literally, we the audience are watching this T-Rex like sneak up, and no one is looking. And again, once or twice, I feel like certain things happen and characters do stuff. You go, it's a film, you know, you excuse it. Sometimes it allows the plot to progress by silly things in our own perspective happening.
That you kind of suspend disbelief.
Exactly. But in this film, I think it did that too many times. And that intermixing with, like what you said, with the tension, I think the lack of tension and the constant, not disregard maybe seems a bit extreme, but the just how it treated, like the characters always did like the stupidest possible thing. So then it completely removes any tension, because you're like, the characters you knew would only get into dangerous situations because they're being stupid.
You just become annoyed with the characters as opposed to caring about what they're doing.
Exactly, and there's not tension from that.
And I feel like, you know, I think they should have withheld the dinosaurs for longer. They should have built that tension for longer. You know, those scenes. There was one scene where Ewan McGregor, and you see, I think it's in one of the trailers, where you see when he first sees the shadow come up, and you're thinking those are the ones you want more. I also think the film would have benefited from taking place at night majoritively, not in the daytime.
Yeah, because I think the night stuff, even it did, like when the kids were running off by themselves, and you're thinking, first of all, you're thinking, come on, like why?
Yeah, why?
I get it, this is suspend belief, whatever, but still, like they did that so many times, you start going, come on.
Yeah, you give them 1 or 2, but
constant, no.
Too many.
And they're running off in the dark, and they're going past bushes and all that stuff, and that is just tense because we can't actually see. And like you said, but where so much of it was broad daylight, and you know, it kind of lost that again suspense.
You can't hide them as much. I feel like if there's dinosaurs and it's at night, you kind of hide some of their details. It forces the audience to be paying attention, to be looking for them more, to be on the edge of your seat. I came out of the film just thinking, that director, his previous work, and instead the film seemed like it wanted to be a Spielberg, Amblin family film, where it would have benefited from being a horror thriller dinosaur film, where it's pure tension, pure dread. And I think, you know, talking about the characters, the kids should not have been in the film. I just think, like you're saying, if the kids are going to be in the film, it needs to be 20 minutes longer, because you need to give them more of a story. They didn't have a story. They kind of touched on one thing in one line, and then they bring it back at the end, and it kind of feels like it's almost a reshoot that they put that in because they have nothing. There's a character they interact with that offers nothing to the rest of the girl next door. They offer nothing to the story. And then I just think if the film was the same length but just the married couple, it would have been so much more interesting, and it would have allowed for it to be a little bit darker. There's one moment in the film, and I won't say exactly who it is because obviously the film's not even out yet, but there's one moment in the film which I truly did not expect to happen, and somebody gets killed. And I was kind of middle of the road along most of the film, and then when that happened, I thought, oh, I
Yeah,
did not
there's
expect
actual
that to
stakes
happen.
here because it didn't feel like there was prior to
And
that for the
then
main
they do
characters.
something at the end of the
They're
film
just
that
it's like
takes all the stakes and jeopardy away and plays it a bit too safe.
Yeah.
And also, I found very predictable. Like
Yeah,
I
you
literally turned to you before and was
yeah,
like, I know exactly what they're
yeah.
gonna do here.
And then yeah, when it happened, I vocalized. I was like, oh really?
And there were a few people around us that were vocalizing
yeah,
these
they
things
were
as well.
laughing.
But also, again, people were vocalizing those moments. People were laughing at some funny moments. I just felt as if the film, if it took a different approach, would have been far more effective.
I do
than
agree
it
with you, and
was.
again, I just want to go off what you said as well. The kids, like, I just think they were the most surface level things. They were actually like more just obstacles and driving forces for the plot, but not in not their characters, just them being kids. Like, because they are the kids of the parents, that's why they have to go out and save them. That's why they have to go do the X, Y, Z. The kids, realistically, I felt like had nothing to them. Like you said, I'll try not to touch on too many specific things, but there was a couple things where things get raised, like character and story stuff gets raised for the kids at the start. That is never explored, or if it is, like you said, it just feels like a reshoot. Or there's one scene, again, without going into too much detail, where we literally both said to each other, how is that still in the film?
Yeah.
Because it was terrible. Like, it was genuinely like that. The film isn't a bad film.
Yeah.
That scene, I actually said to you, and I still stand by, I think from films I've seen this year, I've seen a lot worse films, but that subplot was one of the most just ridiculous things because it made no sense. It didn't serve any purpose. And you're like, what?
There's a couple
and it just
of
goes on.
those moments that you're talking about, and there's one like that moment with the son. There's another one with the daughter where I just thought, why is that not been cut? The whole subplot where you're talking about the bully, and again, I won't go into too many details, but it's that whole subplot, because it's barely in it anyway. It doesn't need to be in it at all.
So then when
and
it
there's
is,
that random moment, like I know what moment we're both talking about, and we literally sat there, we're watching it, and we're like, given the stakes of what's happening, why is this character doing this? And also, it then just completely finishes quickly, and you're like,
and it has no payoff. The character doesn't change for that scenario. I thought,
no, yeah, exactly.
I thought he may interact with this person in a certain way because of what had been set up.
No, it was all irrelevant.
Yeah, it was irrelevant.
It was irrelevant.
And then the fact, like we said, how we feel towards the ending, it kind of took away again stakes that made you be like, oh wow, there are stakes to this, and then they just get taken away, and then it does just everything prior to that does just feel irrelevant. So
those moments, like, I mean, I'll touch on a couple of moments because they're not major anyway. But when you've come into the house and you've got this montage of the family boarding up all the doors and windows, and I get it, your dog's lost or whatever, but you hear the dog in the garden, you see it outside as a 13-year-old kid, and the first thing you do is just run outside when there's dinosaurs everywhere, and then the daughter follows suit. The first thing I'm doing as a 13-year-old kid is going to my parents and going, the dog's outside.
Like, why? Can we try and get it?
Like, it's just those moments where, and because there were so many of them in the film, the moments where they just don't notice things around them, where you're like, oh my God, how is no one noticing this? You would be on such high alert in this situation.
And you could excuse that again, early doors in the film where they're not quite sure. And again, if you build that tension and that kind of like, no, you don't believe dinosaurs are going to be around. So if you build on that and you're like, oh, nah, and then people disappearing, oh, nah, blah, 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 you figure out, oh, where are we? And you earn that a bit more. Whereas we were seeing them constantly, and it just made you feel like all the characters were stupid.
Sure.
Because we're the audience, we're seeing, they literally will show you dinosaur there, and you literally see it staring right at them. But it's in a view where I'm like, I would see that. If you were in this world and you were checking around because you've got your kids and you're aware of it, you would see it. And I also want to say, I won't say too much specific, but there's a point where, again, the character's being stupid. There's a point where they have to time a jump, and that bit actually, I actually was so infuriated.
But everyone started laughing at that bit where somebody missed the jump, and you're like, how do you miss the jump? It's so easy to time.
And I'm being honest with you, I don't think tonally it was intended to be.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't. It's supposed to be a serious moment. They're like, oh, we've messed it up a bit,
and
but
it
wasn't.
Funny.
It was just funny because you're like, how it was harder for you to mess it up, and then again, they're just being so ignorant of their surroundings, and it's just, I just think.
You don't buy it. You just don't buy it.
And considering the contrast of you see certain characters do certain things, you go, how the hell did he do that? But then you see the opposite and go, how the hell did they not see that?
Sure.
So it didn't know whether to treat the characters as like they are capable of actually getting through this situation. And then the next minute, they're literally the following scene, they show you how incapable these characters are of being in this scenario.
Sure.
And I felt like, for me, I didn't know. I didn't, other than Anne Hathaway's character and Ewan McGregor's, but like you said earlier, I don't think he
Doesn't
got
have as much to do. Yeah.
The rest of them were just
Yeah,
nothing.
I buy Anne Hathaway, I
Mhm.
buy Ewan McGregor because they seem at least like real people.
Mhm.
Ewan McGregor seems like a lot of blokes you would know.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to have conversations about
Overly
these things.
positive.
It has to be
Yeah.
overly positive. And Anne
Mhm.
Hathaway's like every time Anne Hathaway's speaking, I'm like, yes, thank you, because she's the only one that speaks sense throughout the film.
Yeah.
And again, it's not necessarily the kids' fault. I mean, they didn't do anything great. They didn't have anything great to do.
No.
But I didn't buy the kids. I felt they were shoehorned into the film because whether it was the source material or whether they felt it had to be a family film and had to go for the PG-13 rating, or it felt it could have been better if you'd allowed yourself to go darker a bit and just focused on the couple, because they were interesting.
And then again, I think you said it a few minutes ago, but if you are going to have those kids in there, I think the film would benefit from being 20 minutes longer.
At the beginning, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Fleshing out them more there once, because we touch on it, you know, the daughter, she says her wants to do something. And the payoff, and that's said at the very start of the film. The payoff for it is we see her with a jumper in relation to what that thing is at the end of the film. You're like, there was never mentioned again. You got some scenes with her, just for example, her character. We got random scenes with her where it didn't felt like it progressed her character along. It just felt like a random scene. And like we said, why is this here? When you could have maybe had having a conversation with her parents, been like, I really wanted to go to this place and I really wanted to do
more
that thing.
scenes with her when she went to the old woman and they were talking about her book, like develop that a bit more.
That's what I mean. I think, like you're saying, if the film is going to be the length it is, I think the kids should be cut from it. And I think, again, a more serious tone. I think, and then if we are going to have the kids in 20 minutes longer, and I still would prefer a bit of a serious tone, because I just didn't know how to treat that from half the time.
I didn't. Yeah, that was the thing. It kind of seemed, and to me, it's like I want to again kind of, round it off by saying that it isn't terrible.
No, it's not a bad
And the
film.
reason, if it was terrible, I'd have nothing to say about it. If it was just bad, I'd have nothing to say about it. I couldn't be asked to talk about it. But it's the reason it's so frustrating when it's such a frustrating watch is because this film should work. It should work throughout. The premise should work. But I think because of certain big decisions that were made, it doesn't work as well as it could have done, because, like we're saying, of the issues with the kids or the characters or the tone, and you can see a film there when you're watching it. You can see a film that really, really works. And I've seen first react. Obviously, there's an embargo until Wednesday, but people are talking like first reactions and stuff, and most of them are really positive. Most of them are very like, oh, it's it's a fun summer. This,
It is
that, and the other.
fun.
And there are times where it's very fun, but it does. I don't think it misses a lot for me.
Yeah, and I think it's fun is sometimes tucked away, like I'm saying, by like just things that as an audience member, for me, I'm like, oh, how is this? Like, really? Like, I just constantly I'm going like, I'm doubting these characters in some capacity. I'm either doubting them or I just don't really care that much. I'm just getting frustrated when I'm going, oh, really? Like, why are you doing this? Or that doesn't make sense. Or how many times are you going to keep on showing us, the audience, how stupid these characters are?
That's the
like
thing,
how like just they don't even think.
I said the example to you yesterday, and it's like you can tolerate it sometimes. I can tolerate Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween in the 1970s, dropping the knife a couple of times because she thinks he's dead, because it's a 70s kind of low budget film. You probably stab someone, you probably think they're dead after stabbing them twice. I can tolerate that a couple of times, but when it's happening throughout, you're kind of you get very annoyed by it.
Yeah. You just get again. It's like early doors. If that it's established, they're not really believing it. They're a bit in denial about it, and things happen, blah blah blah. And then you can treat them as a bit like, because it works that way, right? If you treat them then as like naive and a bit stupid and make wrong decisions because they're not aware of the world they're in. And we're in the last like quarter of the film, and they're still doing these things that you're like, really? Like, after all you've been through, after everything that's happened, you're still doing these things, and I'm still supposed to like care, really, and want these people to succeed. I don't again, I think the film it has points you're like, this is fun and this is enjoyable. But I just think overall it just got brought down to like, for me, like just bang like average film. Because of, again, tonally, just overuse of the dinosaurs a bit as well.
I think so, yeah.
And then just the characters just doing the most frustrating stuff and those are the things that advance the plot. That's a lot of the time where it's just like someone would do something stupid.
I would have rather seen the dog in it more. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'd have rather just followed the dog a little bit more. You know what I mean? A little Starbuck, goofy name.
Definitely, we're getting some product placement as well.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
out of 10, what are you giving it?
If it wasn't for the ending, I think I would have given it a 7. Maybe a 6.5. But I think I'm gonna go 6 because I just didn't really like the ending.
I think so.
Yeah, I just didn't really
think
like
so. It's
it.
about a 6. It gets brought down by too much to be
Yeah.
more than that, I think.
Because I think again early, I think up until like halfway through the film, even when you're starting to see some of the cracks, you still are like, this is fun. You know, I'm intrigued to see where this goes. I hope some of these characters get explored more because it's teetering on. This is interesting, especially the Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor's characters. It was like very intriguing. Like, how is it gonna spill out? And it gets touched on, but again, want to explore further. The kids were not it for me. And then again, that point I said, I think it was probably almost halfway through the film, maybe going into the like 2/3, where that scene with the son and the that was where I just went like,
Yeah, madness.
what?
And the daughter in the car.
Yeah,
the music.
yeah.
I'm
You're
like,
like,
what's going on
what is
there? You know,
happening?
like
It just did.
yeah.
Neither of those scenes served a purpose, and I think the glaring reasons why the kids' stuff doesn't work for me, and like why I think they are
For sure.
the negative of the film. Not in terms of their performance. I don't think they were bad. I just don't think they had anything really, like their characters didn't really develop. They kind of just things. They just did stupid things, and you're like, I don't know. I just think it would have been better if we focused on the parents more.
Yeah, and I mean, even when you're looking at the kids in Jurassic World, I mean, they are front and center. I mean, I know they're front and center, but their adults also they all have stuff to do in the plot, and that's not, I don't think, a great film, but they all have stuff to do in that film, and the kids felt like they didn't have any kind of real stories or backstories or emotional arcs that you could really get behind.
No.
So yeah, I think 6 is fair. Right, I've split it, so I've got a few this or that, and I've got a few agree or disagrees.
Okay, let's run it.
So I'll start off with an easy one. Well, I'll start off with one maybe actually that we have kind of touched on already. Dinosaur horror or dinosaur adventure.
I think I've just seen enough of Dinosaur Adventure, so
This is what I think. I think because you've seen it so many times. I mean, Jurassic Park's done it so many times that you think having a dinosaur horror film, you're like, oh, okay, that could be something really interesting. Could be something really different.
I think it just work. Again, dinosaurs are scary.
They are scary by nature. They do the horrifying. It's horrifying in themselves. You know?
In all the adventure flicks with dinosaurs, there still scenes where they're terrifying. Like even in this, it had bits where I was thinking, I'm like, every time they come into contact with a form, or like especially one of the dangerous ones, it felt like, okay, if it wasn't the main ones, but it felt like the only reason they get away was because someone else, again, not one of the mains, but would get killed. And it was like, well, okay, yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with. So I would say they are scary, so I go with the horror.
It would work, yeah. Survive a T-Rex attack or a raptor attack?
I feel like if you survive a T-Rex attack though, like you're like, I know a raptor will chew you up, but I reckon you can get in some like punches on that, like where it'll still mess you up, but it's smaller bites. A T-Rex is like, if it bites you, I think you're losing majority. Even if you survive, you're losing a lot.
I would rather have to face the T-Rex than a raptor.
Yeah, but if it says, what, is it specifically if you get bitten?
No, just any kind of attack.
Oh.
I would rather face a T-Rex.
I think
I can outrun it more than I can outrun a raptor.
They run at like 50 miles.
Raptors are so quick though.
I know, but like, hang on.
If you're in a chase with a raptor, you're done. Like
I
get
also
T-Rexes
with a
up, but they are heavier. You could probably hide from a T-Rex more effectively than you could hide from a raptor.
So a T-Rex can ride at like 10 to 80 miles an hour. It's not actually as fast as I thought. I reckon
they're so heavy.
Yeah. What about a raptor? A raptor can run, not the motorbike, Velociraptor. 25 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean they're.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. I don't know how fast I can run in miles per hour, but I just don't. I don't see a scenario where
14,
I am.
13.
I don't see a scenario where I'm outrunning a raptor in any. They're so agile and they can get into smaller places. T-Rex, if you could probably hide around the other side of a house and a T-Rex could pass you by.
Fair enough. Yeah. If I'm not actually like, because I thought it was like, would you like survive?
Like right in front of you.
Yeah. Then if it's right in front of me, I'm picking a raptor because I reckon you could, like, it would still mess you up, but I reckon because of its size, like it's probably like a similar height to a human, but then it's like more like obviously like it's got a sharp teeth and all that. But I reckon you could land a couple licks on it. If you land a lick on a T-Rex,
just breaking your hand.
It's doing nothing.
And I also think that like again, in this scenario, we're assuming that we've got nothing. If I've got a gun, give me a raptor.
Yeah, yeah, give
It's
me a
right in
raptor.
front of
Yeah,
me. Like, it's
because I reckon
smaller, I can probably
you
blow
get
its
that in
head
the
off, you
brain,
know what I
you get
mean?
it in the
Yeah.
head, you're probably tapping it. But
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
T-Rex,
T-Rex is a scratch, you know?
yeah, it's doing you
But
in.
if I can outrun one, I'll take my chances over a
I'll
T-Rex.
back sorry, I'll back taking on a T-Rex. Yeah.
So this one is probably a bit more interesting. Survive a week on Oak Street or a week on the Jurassic World Island.
I feel like the Jurassic World Island is built with that intent. I think Oak Street was just thrown there, and I think
This is exactly what my thinking.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's chaos.
If you're, granted, I'll probably die in both. But if I'm on the island, it's built to contain
That's
dinosaurs.
what I'm saying, yeah.
So there is a chance that even if you go to a dinosaur enclosure and they've escaped, well, I can shut myself in there.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
there'll be some
Oak
like
Street,
safe areas. Or
Oak
like
Street,
stuff
you
like...
can't get off of it. You
No.
can't get onto it. It's not there anymore.
You're
So
gone back in time.
the only time if you want to get off of it, you're going into the dinosaurs.
Yeah,
and it's just
yeah.
a street with houses that no one's prepared. You can't get any more food. You know, it's,
and you
it's
don't
tough.
know if again those obviously we can't say too much of a plot, but the things to get away, it's like you don't know if they're actually going to pop up for you and you'll see.
You don't know, yeah.
You don't know how long. Again, I get it. It says for a week, but I think I pick like you're saying.
It's bigger as well. I think the island is probably a lot bigger, so it's kind of you have maybe more space to hide. Again, there are dinosaurs all over the place. There's dinosaurs all over the place anyway in Oak Street, so I think you could probably contain them a little bit better in the island. One more. Survive a dinosaur outbreak with no weapons. Now, I guess no weapons. Survive with no weapons or with no electricity, a dinosaur outbreak. Now, no weapons, I don't think you're including things that... I think I'm not including things like kitchen knives, because they're like utensils, right? Yeah. So I'm thinking guns and, you know...
I would just think, like electricity.
But without electricity, I mean, no fridge...
Yeah, like that's like food and stuff like
food's going off.
Reduced.
I mean, you've got to hope that you've got a lot of tins in the cupboard.
Also, as well, it's like surely again we're thinking bigger picture. It's like that's going to affect the the power grid and all that stuff. Like you think how much society needs electricity. I still think with electricity.
But if you have no electricity and you have weapons, you can kill the dinosaur. If you have a gun, if you have multiple guns, you can kill them.
How else would you kill them?
And then this doesn't say anything about food, but if you kill them, you can probably cook them.
That's facts, actually.
If you bring down like a decent sized dinosaur, you're getting a lot of meat out of that. Do you know what I mean?
I'm back in the weapons after
I think because electricity. I mean, whack some candles up. Again, the fridge is gone.
Yeah, fuck the fridge.
Like that, but if you got a few tin curries in the cupboard, got some Uncle Ben's.
Yeah, you got Uncle Ben's.
Uncle Ben's in there. Yeah, Uncle Ben's and T-Rex. Yeah, put some ketchup on there. You know what I mean?
Yum.
That'd be awful.
Not from the fridge though.
But obviously. You get to try a bit of new meat if you can bring down a decent sized dinosaur.
Mate, if I got a gat, I'm backing myself.
If you can somehow bring down a T-Rex, I mean,
I think with a gun, I think if you had
guns,
I even think if one person had an automatic rifle, you could kill a T-Rex.
And the trouble would be fucking getting it in the house.
Yeah,
you have to chop it up outside.
Yeah, Actually,
but it would last you a long time if you managed to get one in there.
It would.
A lot of meat.
Because again, it's like you put meat in salt, it'll last like salted T-Rex meat. There you
salted
go.
T-Rex,
Nice.
Sweet and sour T-Rex.
Bring me a gat and
bring it on. Yeah, I want to try it.
Yeah.
So now we'll move on to a bit of agree or disagree. So we'll see what these ones have in store. I came up with these literally just a minute ago. So dinosaurs are more frightening than any fictional monster.
No.
Disagree.
Yeah, I disagree. I just think I'm thinking
of other ones.
I'm even thinking like the ones from Alien. I'm like, that is scarier than it's like an evolution of that. But
I'm also thinking of The Thing. Like something like that is more terrifying because you don't know who it is and where it is, and it's an unknown. Like dinosaurs, it's like they're terrifying, but they are what they are. They're in front of you.
They're mammals, right? It's like you can some mammals are terrifying. Like sharks in water, scary. Fucking if you're out in a safari and you see a lion, that is scary.
But there's nothing cosmic about them. There's nothing unknown about them. So I
like
think, yeah, I
we
would
have an
disagree.
idea of what they are like, and they just as we have, they have skeletons, blah blah blah. It's like
Sure.
when it comes to the thing,
There's
what?
information about dinosaurs. You
Yeah.
can figure out things about them.
hmm
You don't
You
like.
know, you can kill them as well with a gun.
You know what their weaknesses are. You know if they're
Yeah.
slow. You know all of those kind of things. So you have the information there. But with aliens, that
Yeah.
you don't know what an alien is. So
Nope.
it's not. There's probably so many things I can't think of off the top of my head. But there's probably so many fictional monsters that I'm like, oh, forget that.
Yeah. And
Um. Uh. A dinosaur outbreak would be more dangerous than a zombie outbreak. 3, 2, 1.
disagree.
Disagree.
Yeah,
Yeah.
disagree.
I think a zombie outbreak is, again, it's we don't know what type of zombies they are, and there's always that thing for me that's more terrifying about things like zombies and vampires, and it's you getting turned into something that isn't you,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's weird. Like that makes you feel uneasy.
Because I think it adds in like if you see someone get eaten by a dinosaur, that's sad. But if you see someone get eaten by a zombie, then come back to life and
Yeah,
then trying to eat
that's
you,
that's
like, that's stuff that
traumatizing. Yeah.
messes you up mentally. So yeah, I just think as well. I'm like, okay, the dinosaur outbreak, they're not going to bite other dinosaurs, or they're not going to bite people, and they're going to turn into dinosaurs. There's a finite amount of dinosaurs probably in this outbreak. I don't know how it works, but with zombies, it's they need humans. They bite humans. The human becomes a zombie. It's like almost until all humans get wiped out. There's a constant chance of zombies could exist,
Sure.
and I just think that is
If there's a dinosaur, you kill the dinosaurs.
Yeah.
That's what you've got to try and
I
do.
don't
Whether you
think-
do it or not,
yeah.
But it's more straightforward, I think, similar to the
Whereas
monsters
as
one.
the human, like, again, that would mess up the whole world. Whereas
Oh
like,
yeah.
dinosaurs, I think, could be dealt with by most militaries, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So velociraptors are scarier than T-Rexes. 3, 2, 1. Agree.
I'm agreeing now because I'm like, yeah, the logic of they're nimble.
I think that's the thing for me.
They're smart.
It's
yeah.
the speed of them, and I think maybe this isn't the best example, but it's when people always talk about like what if you look at like spiders, which spiders are more terrifying, the ones that move slowly or the ones that scurry really quickly?
Yeah.
And the ones that scurry really quickly, I'm like, oh, where has it gone?
Yeah, yeah,
Whereas
that's
the
true.
ones that are moving slow, it looks creepy, but
you see
you
it.
step on it.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously you can't step on a T-Rex, but if it's you're gonna feel it from out the other end of the street
Yeah,
when
you're
it's
gonna
walking
hear it
down.
coming,
So you're
yeah.
gonna have time to. Whereas a velociraptor could be run in your garden. You go outside and
Yeah,
it's
you have
right
no
there. You have
clue.
no idea.
Yeah.
So
Or
yeah.
fleet-footed. Yeah.
Yeah, fleet-footed. So
I'd agree. I just think, like you're saying, I'm like, the scary thing is if a T-Rex is right in front of you, then you're finished because one bite and you're dead. Whereas
Yeah.
a Velociraptor, I don't think, unless it gets you in an important area, I don't think one bite kills you. Maybe not even like 3 or 4. But I just think, I'm like, yeah, like the intelligence of it, and then it's going to start getting some bites in, and it will just eventually get you in a place where it'll kill you.
because probably chomp you in really quickly.
Yeah, like loads of sharp little bites.
Okay, so a dinosaur movie is only as good as its dinosaurs. Everything else is secondary. 3, 2, 1. Disagree.
Yeah,
I think so. I think just because also like it's kind of some of the stuff that we've said about this film is like I want the characters to work. The dinosaurs can be reserved and held back for a long time, and then they'll still be effective.
Yeah,
Whereas,
the dinosaurs.
yeah.
They're like, to me, like it's showing. Oh, but this is the Spinosaurus Triple X Plus. I'm like, it doesn't like if it looks scary, it looks scary. I don't need to know the specific fucking dinosaur.
There could be one in that film. There could have been one T-Rex and that's it.
Yeah,
and it would have been as effective, probably more effective. Like you're saying, there was almost too many dinosaurs. There's the 10 lying across the road, or you've got loads flying around, or you're seeing them constantly. So they become. I kind of think it's the same with any film. It's like the characters work first and foremost, and then you care. So whatever the antagonist is, whether it's an alien or a dinosaur,
you're just worried about those characters because you care about
because
them.
you care about them, and if you withhold that thing a little bit more, the thought of it's scary enough.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Humans would be the villains in a real life Jurassic Park story.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, we're waiting. Sorry.
I'd agree.
Yeah, I'd agree as well.
I mean, they are anyway, aren't they?
It's literally
Really?
like what Jurassic Park is in Jurassic World.
Yeah,
It's like
they are.
They
really,
push
yeah.
it in every form of like even now, like we do like genetic modifications and stuff like that, and like messing with genes and stuff. And it's like, yeah, I just think they would monetize it. Just like how they kind of do in the Jurassic Park films, like you said. I think it would just backfire to a point where they'd either be forced to leave them on an island, wipe them out, and make them extinct again, or they monetize it and the same way like they do with like zoos, where it's like, okay, sometimes the rehabilitation is good for the animals, but then also, all the time I hear about like orcas and stuff where they're being in captivity, like, and a lot of animals don't like it. So I just think it'll probably be like that, but times 10, because dinosaurs, for as long as humans have existed, have been extinct. So you bring something back like that, I think it's going to be humans would just monetize that.
I think humans are not to be too profound here, but are humans not the villains in the real world anyway? I mean, like,
clip that.
You destroy, clip that.
Yeah.
We're destroying everything. You destroy the wildlife. You destroy our own planet, and it's like you're saying, you experiment on things, or you
monetize it.
Like cosmetic companies kill animals all the time. So it's kind of. I think that's just how we treat dinosaurs. It's the same way we treat aliens. All the Alien films. We'd experiment on them, and you'd push them to the edge, and then they'd kill us. Like that. It is Jurassic Park, but I think that is. I think humans are probably the biggest villains on the planet anyway.
Missile T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Okie dokie. The T-Rex is the most iconic movie monster ever. 3, 2, 1. Disagree?
I don't know.
It's tough, isn't it?
I don't know, because I don't think it's because of, and like Jurassic Park is arguably the film, but I don't actually think it's solely because of that film. I just think because T-Rex is
They are just the most iconic dinosaur
it's
by far.
It's the most iconic dinosaur.
But is it the most? I'm just trying to think of monsters that are more iconic than it, and maybe I can't think of any, but I mean,
again, the one from Alien comes to mind, but is it? What else we got? Predator again. Is it more iconic?
I suppose the T-Rex is more widely well known.
Yeah. Monster House. That is true.
You got it.
Yeah, Monster House has done it now.
You got it. Yeah, that's it. Maybe I'll just have to change it to agree. I can't think of a monster that is more iconic.
Because that's it. Because I don't think it's solely because of film. Like, I think a big factor of it is like iconic film, whatever.
But this says movie monster.
Okay, but then also,
what are the most iconic films in which there's monsters? Alien, Predator.
Yeah, obviously, like Monster. I guess is not just a creep, like suppose like Friday the First, like and stuff like that. It's like that they are monsters.
You could say they're monsters. Yeah, you can make that point.
I just think, like you said, because I don't think it's solely because of films, but I think because of it is the most well-known dinosaur, and then in some of the Jurassic Park's like one of the best-known films.
Yeah, and I mean, so many people know. I mean, the Jurassic Park, the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, the first one, like I can just picture that, and
I'd say it is. I don't think solely because of films, but I do think because of how it's known, and then
has a leg up almost.
Excuse me. Yeah, I'd say so. Because I can't think of any monsters worse, to be honest.
No, I can't off the top of my head. No,
not worse, iconic.
And again, it's kind of, I mean, think people like Michael Myers and stuff like that. It's a certain age group, like kids, like young kids. That's not for young kids. No. Whereas the T-Rex can be for everyone.
T-Rex, yeah, exactly. Like that's why I think obviously we're saying about the film. It's kind of aiming for everyone, which probably was to its negative. But
final one.
Ooh.
If Jurassic Park opened tomorrow, you'd visit on opening day. 3, 2, 1. Disagree. I only say disagree because I don't know if I'd visit on opening day.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that I'm like, maybe I should have just put you'd visit. I would visit, like I would. I mean, it's people talk about zoos, this that, and the other, but I like I like the thought of going to a zoo.
Yeah, going to a zoo and seeing animals is interesting.
They're extinct. I'll be like, what? I can go and see dinosaurs. Yeah. I would definitely want to do that.
100%. That's what I mean. Like, again, the importance of going on opening day. I'd
probably maybe want to let the people go opening day, see if anything goes wrong. maybe give it a couple of weeks.
This is when we go, oh man, glad we didn't go first day. Apparently a couple of T-Rexes got out.
Everyone died.
60 people. I'm like, Right, wow.
Yeah, that
Think,
would.
though?
Yeah, I probably wouldn't go on opening day just because I've seen Jurassic Park. But you know,
Yeah.
apart from that, I probably would want to go.
Because I
you
would
know?
like again the idea of the Jurassic Park before everything goes wrong. Looks well nice.
What a cool place to
It
go.
looks
Like,
it looks pretty.
you telling me I get to
techy.
go and see a T-Rex? Like what?
Yeah, like and see that huge like Predator X thing under the water. Like,
Yeah, coming out. And
again, I
feeding
wouldn't
it
want to
and
be the
like,
bird who gets eaten by it, and nah, like she gets a tough.
Yes.
She gets dropped in the water by the flying ones. Then she's like, "Oh, okay."
Is that in
fine."
Jurassic World?
Jurassic World.
Is that because that's the thing that finally finishes it off.
Yeah,
that
because
finishes
she's having a tough time.
The I-Rex or whatever it is.
Yeah, and then they thing swoop down, pick her up, drop her in the water. She's like, "Oh, finally!" And it's just bang.
Yeah, I mean that the pterosaurs might be the most terrifying ones to be killed by. They're just like picking you up and dropping you from like.
Yeah, that's really
Oh
scary.
Jesus! But
But
yeah,
I think the idea of open again, I don't
our
like
water. Yeah, to be fair.
and the fact of like the size of that thing. I know it does you in one, but like the size of that
But
thing.
shit was not. You don't want that to be your last. Like if I'm
Imagine-
falling from
yeah.
the sky, at least I'm just falling hitting the floor.
Also,
like,
as worse, like imagine like you're in the water and you look down and you just see like,
yeah, I'm
like,
done.
what do I do?
I'm done.
You're dead.
I'm just standing still and not moving.
That's it. I'm dead.
I'm finished.
I'm finished.
But yeah, that'll be that.
So what we both went for a 6.
I think 6. I think around a 6. You know, it's
like
fun
fun at points, but just frustrating in terms of a lot of the decisions made and things that happen in it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to like it.
I think they will. Isn't that good?
I think a lot of people will like it because they will view it as, it's a fun summer thing. And I did
Just think
kind
it
of
could
view
be a
it
lot
going in,
better.
but I just thought it could have been a lot better. Yeah,
I think it has all the makings to be a really great film, and I think it's just average, but it's at least fun average at times.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see like how much money it makes and how many people go and see it. But yeah, what's next? I don't know what we've got coming next. Have we got any TV things? Have we got any?
I know obviously there's like a couple things in September. Like isn't that Dateline or Showtime?
Oh yeah, Prime Time.
Yeah,
Dateline NBC.
Yeah.
You see how this looks,
yeah,
right?
No.
But
See right there.
but I think there's the Ridley Scott one at the end of this month. It's in August.
Yeah.
That's Jacob Elordi and who else is in? I can't remember.
What's his name? Oh, No Country for Old Men. Why have I forgot his name?
It's not Javier Bardem, is it?
No. He's the Thanos.
Oh, Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
No, that'll be good. I'll
Yeah.
look forward to seeing that. And then, like you say, prime times in September. I think there's probably a couple more in September.
There's
Oh, you're not buzzing for Insidious?
So won't be there for that one.
There will not be a review for Insidious.
We will not be there. I hate those films.
But yeah, plenty
Peace,
of
love, and takers.
different things coming soon.
Game.